New recruit to talk about 2026 class. Right now, 24/7 has this player as the third best player in the entire class. It is Christian Collins, a 6'8", 200-pound power forward from California. He's playing at St. John Bosco right now. On the EYBL circuit, Christian Collins has been a duo with Taj Ariza, and it was Team Why Not. They're undefeated in session one in the EYBL. They've basically been a completely unstoppable duo there. And I think Collins has really exploded. He's been a big time prospect for a while now, but he's gone from like a middle of the pack 5 star to a top three player in this class. Oh my God, everyone wants him. On that note, Kentucky and Duke both have recently offered. Christian Collins actually just tweeted that Kentucky and Duke offered him yesterday. And then Louisville, Arizona, and Cal are also expected to visit Christian Collins this week. That's per Dushan London. So shout out to Dushan. Deanna, I wanted to start broadly with you. What do you make of Christian Collins' game?
I like his game a lot. I think he's a guy that's kind of burst onto the scene in the 26 class. I will say, and I think like everyone's going to start to get involved in him more and more. Duke actually flew out to St. John Bosco to offer him like in person. So I don't know if that like plays a role in how he's feeling about all these different schools. But Duke recently had a visit. Kentucky offered him how it seems like 7 hours after Duke offered him because they're like, wait a second, Duke did this. We have to get involved too. Um, he's a one and done guy. I think he needs to choose a program where they will make sure he's a one and done, and that they'll provide him the tools to get to the next level. St. John Bosco, just for anyone that doesn't know, like there is no more prestigious school in California you can go to. Typically, a football school, don't get me wrong, but their basketball program is held in the same regard. So if you're playing at St. John Bosco, um, you are like you're held in the highest of regard even if you don't play with Division 1 basketball. It's something that name holds weight. So I think everywhere he's gone he's played at the highest of levels. So I think this is a guy where like facilities, staff, kind of like the AJ DeBantis stuff that he mentioned with BYU are going to matter the most, which brings me, I'm very curious if BYU gets involved at some point. This feels like a guy that would buy into everything Kevin Young's doing.
I could see that. He seems like a pros pro type prospect. And what I mean by that, I mentioned he's playing with Taj Ariza. There's been a bunch of different versions of this kid playing with other elite players. I can't tell what league this is, but I think it's like an overtime elite league or something. Um, but he played with Brandon McCoy and then LZ Harrington, who's a big time 4 star prospect. Brandon McCoy's number two ranked prospect. So like basically everywhere you can find this kid playing basketball, he's like on teams surrounded by elite guys, and he's just productive. Like he's a big time athlete. He can rise up and elevate over you. He's sort of just like very fluidly bounces through the court. I think he's pretty physical. He seeks physicality. One thing I love about this kid is there's a lot of players that we've covered on this channel where like when they start to rise through the rankings, like you just go look at their profile and search what's going on. And like maybe all of their video captions they post, highlights of themselves have like Kendrick lyrics or just like, I don't know, weird IG captions with emojis. Christian Collins consistently posts his highlights with the captions 3-0. This video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. We have a special offer for you. Use promo code SLEEPERS, place a deposit, and Underdog will match your deposit as a first-time user up to $1,000 in bonus credits with a 50% deposit match. And they're giving you a free pick for the next 48 hours. And Dion, I know it has your attention.
It's Steph Curry to score 1 point in game 6, an elimination game at the crib. That's what we do. We've been beating the Rockets for a decade. Night, night.
1 point from Steph Curry, you win your free pick. Promo code SLEEPERS. Make sure you don't miss out. Let's get back to the video. Like this dude, every caption is like, I went undefeated this weekend. My team's winning. We're winning. We're winning. I think this kid is a winner. I really like the way he's wired. I really like all the film. And in general, with this archetype, I love guys that are already really prestigiously ranked. Like they're not under the radar, but it still feels like they're constantly rising. Like this isn't like an Akeda Lewis where it's like, oh my God, he was 90th and now he's 20th. We all missed the boat. This kid's been a top 10 player for a year And he's still every update going from like ninth to sixth, sixth to fourth, fourth to third. Who knows where it ends, but he just consistently is outperforming the other elite players.
Yeah, by the way, St. John Bosco just like never loses in any sport. Like that. So like the 3-0, like he is just never losing. They don't lose in any sport. I want to say like in football, I know De La Salle won for like 5 years straight. I want to say St. John Bosco had some crazy streak where they won for like years at a time. They just never lose. So he's a definite winner. He knows how to win. Like I said, he that school's facilities are collegiate level. He's used to being at a high school that treats him like a Division 1 athlete. So I think what he's going to look for is a Division 1 program that's going to treat him like a pro now. And he's going to continue to make steps earlier than other people. I'm very curious who gets involved. Duke, Kentucky, I think are great landing spots. I love the Louisville idea. Cal, respectfully, not a shot. Not a shot. There's no way. There's just no way. I've been to Cal. Their facilities are not good. You also like respectfully, you're gonna have to go to class if you go to Cal. I don't think that's what he's looking for. So Cal, I appreciate them being involved though.
Hey, no comment on that. This kid might be a great student. We have no idea. The way he tweets, like I said, I bet this kid can kill a book report. But I think, yeah, it just, like I said, pros pro type recruit to me, this is like Duke or Kentucky. And him tweeting offers from Duke and Kentucky like within an hour of each other yesterday feels very telling of where this is headed. I'm sure Louisville could make a pitch. There's a lot of programs that could convince this kid to come play, but like, given how often he has shined on teams full of stars. There are some guys who get uncomfortable. You commit to John Shire, you go to Duke, and there's studs everywhere. You get uncomfortable, it overwhelms you, you're not good enough. This kid will thrive surrounded by that many good players. And I think for me, I would actually put Duke probably as like the 1A likely outcome here, just because of how much talent they're pumping in there. But Kentucky's not far off in that regard at all. It feels like that's where this is headed in a blue blood battle. Last thing I want to note on Christian Collins, shout out Kristen Peak. Kristen Peak, infamously the reporter who we went to war with over the Zach Edey quotes last summer, where she was really just antagonistic towards Zach Edey, calling him the worst pick of all time. She does a very good job covering high school recruiting, prep recruiting, guys that are going to be in the NBA. And she had an interview with Christian Collins in April. And he said he listed off players that he's been watching the film of. No, excuse me, three players were named. Any guesses without looking what three players he named?
Are they like
One's
professional?
a current NBA all-time great. One is a long retired NBA Hall of Famer, and one is one of the more fun youth players of our childhood that's been retired for a while. Three
Um,
very different archetypes.
it's got to be AI, MJ, and Braun.
0 for 3, but just not too far off. Said he's watching film of Kevin Durant, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Tracy McGrady.
Uh, uh, so I'm not a Hakeem guy. So I think Hakeem's one of the all-time biggest frauds in the history of the sport. Hakeem, for about a decade, was doing that thing where like you're a big man who has no post game. Come work out with me in the summer. None of them developed a post game, by the way. Clint Capella been working out with Hakeem for 20 years, has no post game since he's done that. So I'm out on Hakeem. Big T Mac KD guy though.
I mean, that's classic. That's classic. All right. Well, I like Christian Collins. I like this answer. And we'll see. Kentucky versus Duke is where it feels like it's headed for me.